Water moving slow and white, footsteps tracing Riverside.
White day sun on willow leaves, shadows dancing on our sleeves. Gravel sings beneath my shoes, carrying the words I choose.
Single rose and paper thin, petals bright as porcelain. I take the letter from my coat, read again the lines I wrote.
Fold it back with careful hands, like a map of shifting sand. Spring wind brushing past my cheek, cooling all the things I keep.
Petals drifting on the stream, soft as every silent dream. If they find the open sea, will you drift that way with me?
Riverside Promise, call my name. Let the water hold the same. In this golden afternoon, hearts are humming out of tune, like the current running free. Flow a little closer to me. Riverside Promise, warm and slow, where our quiet feelings go.
Willow branches sweep the air, sunlight tangled in your hair. I pretend I do not see how you guard that mystery.
Your hand slips into your coat,
Like you're holding one small note. River light upon your face, silver lines I long to trace.
when you say my name aloud. All the birds forget their sound.
Even water seems to pause, balanced on a tender call. Rose petals against the tide, turning slowly as they glide. If you let your letter show, I will let my answer flow. Riverside Promise, here we stand, sunlight resting on our hands. White rose trembling in the breeze, soft confessions through the trees. Like the river bending wide, let our doubts be set aside. Riverside Promise, stay with me, written in this melody.
I unfold the paper now.
Your voice is barely more than thou.
Ink that blurred where I erase.
Every fear I gently face.
River shining, time held still. Hearts align against the chill. Not a shout, not grand display,
Just your name, the only way.
Riverside Promise, crystal clear. Every whisper, word sincere. From a single white rose bloom to the space we're standing in. Like the petals drifting through, all my roads are leading you. Riverside Promise, soft and true. The river carries me to you.
Water moving, evening near.
Let her open, nothing to fear.
Willow shadow, sky above, flowing into something love. Streetlights paint the gravel gold. Evening air is shy and cold. Swing chains hum a silver line. White day written in the sky. We used to count the passing cars, name each brighter than a star. Your laughter tangled in the breeze, cotton candy, sugar teas. Last spring's petals in your hair, falling slow on wooden stairs. To paper cups on midnight blue, steam that curled between us two. Now the paint is slightly worn, rust where little hearts were drawn. Still I trace them with my thumb, like a place we're from. And full of press against my coat. Edges soft from every note. I rehearsed it with the moon. Under breath, the quiet tune. Letter under starlight, take it slow. Every word is set aglow. From the pocket of my doubt to the sky we talk about. If the night can shine this way, maybe we can try. Letter under starlight, let it open like the sky. You walk through the lamplight haze, hands tucked in like golden days, footsteps tapping out a rhyme, keeping pace with mine. You sit down, the swing dips slow, perfume faint as afterglow. Do you have something to say? Words I practice drift away, scar from last September's rain, still a shadow on my sleeve, a spring stitch green along the ground, soft as new belief. Your shoulder barely touching mine, tiny sparks along the spine. I pull courage from the seam, like pulling thread from broken dreams. Letter under starlight, here it is. Every maybe turn to this ink that trembled in my room, now is breathing in the bloom. If the past can lose its hold, if our hands can both unfold. Letter under starlight, watch a second chance take hold. Chain creaks keeping time, your fingers brush mine, envelope between our palms, paper thin as psalms. No fireworks, no crowded cheers, just the echo of last year. Stars spill over treetop lines, silver stitching fractured times. You break the seal with careful light, breath visible and wide. In that pause the world feels new, like it's rooting for us too. Letter under starlight, read me true. Every line still leads to you, from the ache of autumn air to the swing we choose to share. If the sky can start again, every dusk at 10. Letter under starlight, let this be where we be. Swing slows down to gentle larks, morning hiding in the dark. Empty pocket, lighter heart, stars still playing their quiet part. Under constellations bright, we rewrote our spring tonight.
Street art stitched in silver lines along a quiet park. You used to run ahead of me and call it after dark. Paper cups of vending tea, steam against the cold. Your laughter skipping on the stones like coins of melted gold. Back when winter held our hands too tightly and it seemed we carved our names in wooden benches, small and evergreen. Tonight the branches glow above, tiny bulbs like captive stars. And I'm standing by the fountain, counting old scars. Fountain, starlight vow, right here, right now. Water right in circles where our shadows bow. Fountain, starlight vow, hear the silver sound. If the night can hold our names, we won't let them drown. walk across the grass so slow, shoes brushing dew from green. White rose hidden in my coat like something in between. When I place it in your hand, petals catch the light. Your fingers trace the fragile edge as if it might take flight. The fountain breathes between our words, a steady tender stream. Your shoulder barely touching mine, closer than we've been. My pulse is louder than the spray rising in the air. You look up at the open sky and I forget to stare. Starlight vow under hanging lights, white rose trembling softly in the hush of night. Fountain starlight vow, water shining through. If the new season starts tonight, let it start with you. No crowded cheers, just grass beneath our palms. Water threading through the dark with quiet, patient psalms. Maybe love isn't not a flame that burns and disappears, but a fountain in the evening park, returning year by year. So we rise from where we sit, brush the dew from denim blue, take one step beyond the past. I match my pace with you. Fountain, starlight vow, let the water flow, carry every broken piece we used to know. Fountain, starlight vow, beneath the scattered stars. If tomorrow blooms from here, it will be ours. Starlight vow. Just stars. White rose breathing in your hair, streetlights dim and understand. Water keeps what we allow, soft and slow. Our
Sunlight spilling over a brick, heartbeat counting, slow and quick. Rooftop door swings open wide, midday warmth on either side. Concrete glowing pale and sweet, sneakers tapping nervous beats. Lunchbox resting on my knees, wrapped in paper pink with ease. Strawberry slices, sugar cream, layered like a daydream scene. You once said in passing tones, strawberries my favorite one. So I woke before the sun, cut each heart shape one by one. Cherry blossoms far below, blushing where the soft winds blow. Petals drifting through the blue, almost brave enough like you. I lift my hand and let it fall, trace your name along the wall. One small wave across the air, an empty space beside my chair. Rooftop strawberry moments with you, sweet and shining bright and new. Powdered sugar on your smile, staying there a little while. If the bell begins to ring, let it wait for everything. Rooftop strawberry moments stay pink as spring, that won't fade away. it's a gentle tune. Rooftop strawberry moments with you, simple as the sky is blue, shared between two paper plates, balanced on the edge of fate. If the wind should steal a crumb, let it taste what we've become. Rooftop strawberry moments glow, sweeter than we'll ever know. Maybe love begins like this, powdered sugar fingertips, not fireworks across the night, but rooftop floors and open light, petals falling through the air, landing softly in your hair. I reach out, then hesitate, let the moment choose our fate. If tomorrow shifts the view, changes halls we're walking through, still this noon will softly stay, pressed like flowers in a page. Rooftop strawberry moments with you, bright enough to see us through, even when the seasons move. I'll remember how we grew with the city far below, and cherry blossoms in a glow. Rooftop strawberry moments shine, forever young in lunch hour time. The bell rings out across the sky, but we don't rush, we let it fly on sun-warmed concrete side by side. Spring begins where we decide. Bounce, bounce,
Bounce across the floor.
after school, and something more. Sneakers squeak on polished wood, scoreboard blinking like it should. Orange arcs against the light, your jump shot cutting through the white. Spring wind through the open frame, lips my hair and calls your name. My mouth a cheer I practiced twice, taste of mint and nervous spice.
Friends behind me gently shove, go on, tell him what you love. I clutch the candies wrapped in blue, sugar dreams I save for you.
My heartbeat keeps a steady pace, racing every time you face the hoop, the rim, the sky above, like chasing something you believe in. Gymnasium heartbeat, echo with mine, dribbling slow in 4/4 time, between the whistle and the sun, something tender has begun. Every bounce across the floor,
Feels like knocking on a door.
gymnasium heartbeat, warm and bright, running toward the fading
Final buzzer fades away, sweating daylight start to sway. Towel hanging on the rail, breathing in the victory's trail. I see you standing by the bench, fingers curled around the edge. Sunlight caught inside your hair, like a quiet answered prayer.
You walk closer, shadows blend, afternoon begins to bend. I hold out the handkerchief, folded square and stitched with if, and the candy's in my palm, bright as little lucky charms. Sugar wrapped in pastel gleam, like courage packed in cellophane. Your hands are shaking just a bit,
So are yours, don't mention it.
in this pause before we speak.
The gym feels smaller, softer, sweet.
Gymnasium heartbeat, close to yours, echoing off wooden floors, sweeter than the crowd's applause, louder than the game we lost. today. Let them roll, but let them stay. Gymnasium heartbeat, don't you hide. Run with me to the other side. Maybe love is just like this, a trembling hand, a sugar kiss.
Maybe it's the breath you take before the final shot you make.
The window lets the spring breeze in.
It cools the salt upon my skin.
The candies rustle bright and small,
like tiny stars about to fall.
if dreams are chords we learn to run, then maybe we have just begun. No trophies shining from above, just this shy and growing love. Gymnasium heartbeat, side by side. No more reasons left to hide. From the baseline to the sky, we let this quiet moment fly. Sweat and sunlight, hand in hand.
Candy melting where we stand.
Gymnasium heartbeat, clear and true. Like chasing dreams, we're running to. In this warm and golden sea, we are braver than we've been. Felt beats so felt distant.
Bounce fades away, but the rhythm chose to stay.
In the hush of after school light, our heartbeat lingers in the night. Bounce, bounce across the floor. After school and something more. Sneakers singing on the court. Scoreboard lights and quiet support. Orange ball against the sky. A jump shot learning how to fly. Spring wind through the window frame. Rushes softly through my name. I rehearse a simple cheer, but it disappears when you are near. Friends behind me laugh and say, today's the day, don't run away. In my bag a pastel pack, marshmallows in pink and black. Powder, sugar on my thumb, proof that I was brave enough to come. My heartbeat tapping like your dribble, fast then slow, then just a little like it. Scared to hit the rim, afraid of chances growing dim. Marshmallow courage in my hand, soft but ready to withstand. Melting slow beneath the sun, telling me it's time to run. Not away but straight to you, like your free throw flying true. Marshmallow courage, sweet and small, maybe that's the bravest of all. Final whistle cuts the air. Chairs dissolve in wooden glare. You walk off with shining skin, breath of salt and quiet grin. Bench still warm from where you sit, towel tossed beside your kid. I step closer, shoes unsure, concrete feeling less secure. Handkerchief enfolded, white edges stitched with thread so tight. Marshmallows wrapped in silver twist, shaking in my open fist. You look up and catch my gaze. Afternoon in amber haze. Words like sugar on my tongue. Too many songs left unsung, but your smile pulls the string like a kite in early spring. Marshmallow courage, here I stand, offering you both my hands. Sweeter than the crowd's applause, gentler than the game's loud cause. If my voice begins to sway, let it drift but let it stay. Marshmallow courage, warm and bright, softness makes it real. Like these clouds of sugared air, bravery can still be there. Your laughter rings against the wall, brighter than the final call. You take the candy, brush my skin, static sparks awakening. In that touch the world grows wide, like doors thrown open from inside. Marshmallow courage, no disguise reflected in your laughing eyes. Sweat and sunlight hand in hand, we're stronger than we ever planned. From the baseline to the sky, dreams don't ask us to be shy. Marshmallow courage, soft and true. Today it led my heart to you. Low, bounce, bounce, bounce. Fades from the floor, but I'm not afraid anymore. In the hush of after school air, sugar courage lingers there. No one spills gold on the wooden floor. Porcelain cups and an open door. Glass reflects a silver sky. Sunlight draws a table's line. Wire wrap gift before my hands. Ribbon tied in careful plans. Mint leaves breathe in tiny sighs. Green against the bright surprise. Two iced teas with melting rings, waiting like unfinished things. I trace the edge of your empty chair, feel the warmth still resting there. Clock above the counter hums, counting all the maybes to come. I read the menu line by line, though I know it every time. Stir the straw in circles slow, like calming tides that ebb and flow. Midday terrace moments stay floating in this gentle day. In the hush of clinking glass, let my quiet courage pass. Soft as light on linen white, steady as the noonday bright. Midday terrace moment, brief bloom in all the space between. Doorbell chimes in silver tone. Footsteps crossing stone by stone. Spring air follows at your heels, carrying the scent of fields. I check my watch, 12:30. Set it down upon the shelf. Stand up slow, my chair replies with a whisper of surprise. Gift paper cool against my palm, heartbeat louder than the calm. You say my name and lens so clear, like sunlight bending close to here. Steam from coffee curls and sways, dancing through these tender rays. Every second feels so wide, like open windows to the sky. Midday terrace moment now, see the light upon your brow. Mint and sugar in the air, bravery is blooming there. If my voice begins to shake, let it shimmer, let it wake. Midday terrace moment. Between the cups and swaying trees, there's a space where silence grows, petals soft and sunlight slow. I place the gift into your hands, a ribbon loosens, courage stands. Not a firework in the sky, just two shadows drawing nigh in this ordinary gleam. Beyond it comes a living dream. Midday, terrace, moments shine, turning seconds into signs. From the mint leaves, quiet sway to the words I dare to say. Soft but certain as the spring, hope unfolds in everything. Midday, terrace, moment bright, we begin in simple light. Glasses chime and breezes roam. Sunlight paints our table home. In the calm of open skies, courage blooms, no disguise.
Morning breath on silver leaves, footsteps through the sleeping green. Tulips dressed in drops of glass, dawn lay gently on the grass. Eastern sky in shades of pearl, quiet as a waking world. I chose a box and candlelight, white chocolate wrapped in satin white. Ribbon tied with clumsy care, like a whispered hopeful prayer. Cold air settling in my coat, warmth rising in my throat. Every petal bowed and still feels the echo of my will. Gate of iron painted green, holding all that might have been. My fingers trace its fragile art, like reading lines across my heart. Garden gate courage, open slow, let the tender morning show. From the frost to golden hue, I'm stepping out, I'm stepping through. Soft as dew on petals bright, strong as sunrise, finding light. Garden gate courage in my chest, hope unfolding, doing its best. Pocket holds a secret square, sugar sand upon the air. Thumb against the paper seam, heartbeat tapping in between. Somewhere down the gravel lane, footsteps fall like summer rain. Your silhouette in amber glow, moving where the roses grow. Breath escapes in silver streams, colder than my quiet dreams. Yet beneath this fragile chill, something steady standing still. Hinges whisper as they bend, like a story about to begin. Morning stretches wide and clear, making space for what is here. Garden gate courage, here I stand. Sunlight resting on my hand. White chocolate and waking skies, reflected softly in your eyes. If my voice should gently shake, let it tremble, let it wake. Garden gate courage, bright and new. Spring is breathing. You. lost in bloom and flame, I call your softly spoken name. Not a thunder, not a cry, just two colors in the sky. Ribbon falls, the box is bare. Sweetness meets the morning air. You smile, petals start to rise, light unfolding in surprise. In that glance the seasons turn, winter fades without a burn. Garden gate courage, wide and free. Morning riding us in green. From trembling hands to open skies, a brighter day before our eyes. Soft beginnings, brave and true. Every blossom pointing you. Garden gate courage gently shown. Today we let the spring be known. Tulips lift their jeweled heads. Sunlight spills where night once spread. Gate swings open, hinges sing. First page of another spring.
Tired eyes, hilltop breathing evening air, wildflowers tangled in my hair, blanket on the silver grass, watching golden minutes pass. You once laughed in cafe lights, said you love macarons white, so I brought a pastel row, stacked like clouds in sunset glow. Paper card with careful lines, meet me where the daylight bends, ink still drying at the seam, carrying this hopeful dream. Church bells drifting from the town, soft as petals falling down. Wind rehearses what I'll say, then steals half my words away. Twilight, meadow, invitation, floating on this pink horizon. If you want this winding lane, I will say your name again. Sweet as sugar, light as air, evening wraps us in its care. Twilight, meadow, invitation, blooming into celebration. Fingertips begin to shake, crumbs of almond in their wake, lavender and lemon hue, little moons of yellow blue. I line them up and count to 3 like steady breaths inside of me. From the edge of fading light, shadows stretch and hold me tight. Then beyond the dipping sun, a moving shape, just one, climbing slowly closer still, silhouette against the hill. Heartbeats echo in my ear, louder now that you are near. Wind turns warmer on my skin, like it knows what's stepping in. Twilight, meadow, invitation, now it feels like revelation. Every step you take my way, colors deeper into gray. Macarons and blushing skies, mirrored softly in your eyes. Twilight, meadow, invitation, turning hope to constellations. distant stars appear, sugar dust and laughter near. On this hill where daylight ends, evening writes us into friends. Morning's girls in shades of cream, petals waking from a dream. White box resting on my knees, March 14th beneath the trees. Bench still cool against my coat, breath like clouds, the sparrows float. Cherry buds and fragile rose, holding secrets no one knows. Paper box with satin thread, sugar dust like words unsaid. I'm pressed to the silver seam, tracing every silent dream. A bicycle hums down the lane, coffee drifting after rain. On this quiet wooden seat, hope taps softly with my heartbeat. Palm grows warm despite the breeze, tiny tremor in my knees. If courage blooms the way they do, maybe I can bloom for you. Confession beneath blossoms, here I stand, sunlight trembling in my hands. Every petal falling slow whispers what I'm scared to show. If the spring can start again, so can hearts that hesitate. Confession beneath blossoms, I won't let this moment wait. Past the gate, morning shining on your face, like caught in your wind-touched hair, turning ordinary air into something bright and thin, like the hush before violins. Footsteps rhythm down the stone, every step toward my own. Candy box against my chest, heartbeat knocking unconfessed. Bird song stitching sky to blue, every note pointing to you. When you call my name so light, all the branches hold it tight. If these buds can open wide, I can open what I hide. Confession beneath blossoms, don't look away. I have saved these words for today. White as sugar, soft and true, wrapped in trembling shape of you. If the winter line to fade, so can all the doubts I made. Confession beneath blossoms, let my quiet heart be brave. I rise. Quakes like an old refrain, petals fall between our names, box between us small and bright, like a lantern in daylight. No grand stage and no perfect line, just your shadow crossing mine. The wall reduced to breathe and bloom, candy sweetness, faint perfume. In this pause where seconds hover, spring leans in and lifts the cover. Confession beneath blossoms, take my hand, feel the sugar melt like sand. Every petal, every sigh turns to wings against the sky. It's this morning chooses us, let it bloom without a rush. Confession beneath blossoms, from my heart to yours, because spring began the day I knew I would stand and speak. simply smile. Hope has walked that extra mile under branches pale and new. I gave spring a voice and you.
Afternoon and faded gold, shop window lined with green and old, white tulips and paper wrap, spring light resting on my hands. Bell above the doorway rings, dust and pollen, fragile things, rows of petals pale and still, waiting on a windowsill. You once said in early May, white tulips look like they pray, laughing by the riverside, coffee warmth and careless tides. Now I stand where we once stood, wallet open, understood, first bouquet since we let go, stems cool as melting snow, thumb is hovering on your name, screen light flickers just the same. Are you free? A simple line sent at 3:09, 10 small minutes stretch and bend like they'll never reach the end. Courage and white tulips in my hands, folded tight in paper strands, every petal soft and new carries me back to you. If the wind can change its course, if forgiveness finds its source, courage in white tulips, let them say what I rehearse. Phone screen lights the quiet street, heartbeat tapping off the beat, car door slams and children shout, but all I hear is doubt. Tulips scent like morning rain, fresh but edged with something plain. I count the cracks along the ground, circle where we turned around. Then your message cuts the gray, let's meet, just that no delay. Letters small but shining bright like windows lit at night. Paper wrap against my chest, steps grow lighter with each breath. Courage and white tulips, now I go down the street we used to know. Every corner, every sign feels like second time. If the buds can bloom again, through the frost and through the rain, courage and white tulips lead me back to where you stand. Spring wind presses at my back like it won't let me turn back. Paper trembling in my grip, green stems at my fingertips, no grand speech inside my head, just the words we never said. Traffic humming, distant train, sunlight after rain. If we're fragile as these blooms, still they rise from buried roots. Maybe love is something small, still brave enough to grow at all. Courage and white tulips here with you, petals brushed with afternoon, not to cover what has been, but to let the light back in. If your hand reaches for mine like it did that first springtime, courage in white tulips, let this be our gentle sign. Paper loosens, flowers breathe, March wind moving through the leaves. What we were and what will be, meet beneath this blooming tree. White tulips against the blue, finding courage, walking to you.
trace our names in frost on the cafe window glass. 2 paper cups between our hands, breathing clouds that wouldn't last. You laugh and steal my scarf away, leave your perfume on my sleeve. Winter sun, untangled hair, golden F433.
You said spring would come too fast, that we should hold the cold a while. Your fingers red, but still you waved like snow was only in denial.
Now the branches outside my room carry tiny sparks of green, pushing through the frozen dirt where our last goodbye had been. Sprouting again in the pale morning light, through the cracks of a year gone white. 3 little words on a fragile line. Can we try just one more time? Can hear the earth exhale underneath the frostbit trail. If the roots still know our name, maybe we can bloom the same. Kettle crying into steam, your mug hiding behind the rest. Lipstick faded to a dream, phone screen glowing in my palm, cold against my shaking thumb. Outside little leaves are born where the winter used to numb. I was tying up my hair, morning light across the floor, when your name began to ring like it had the year before. I let it sing for 3 slow beats, heart counting 1, 2, 3. Your breath was barely louder than the sparrows in the tree. Static dancing in between all the words we couldn't say. They're so thin it almost broke as winter slipped away. Nodding in the trembling air, I'm still here, are you still there? Through the wire your whisper came, soft as sunlight after rain. Sprouting again and my eyes turn bright, tears like thawing ice in light. If the season dares to change, maybe we can rearrange.
I thought love was something lost in a coat I left behind, buried deep in January under salt and city sun.
But even seeds in silent fields keep a map of where to rise, waiting for a careful voice to call them back to skies.
So say it slow, let it be small, no fireworks, no grand applause.
Just 2 hands in early light, learning how to pause.
Sprouting again, not loud, not fast, just brave enough to last.
Sprouting again in the open day, winter finally melts away. Yeah, it's okay, you softly said, and all the gray inside me fled. Sprouting again beneath blue skies, hope reflected in our eyes. If the earth can start anew, maybe me and you can too. It's me and just me and you. Window open, morning breeze,
Tiny leaves on trembling trees.
season turning, hearts aligning, quiet roots softly shining.
We used to sit by this same pane, December fog on glass, 2 cups leaving cocoa rings, like hours that wouldn't pass.
Your fingers drawing hearts in steam, mine hide
the sky. Streetlights waking one by one, and the table holds a little box like something just begun.
Promise beneath Magnolia, soft as evening glow. Marshmallow melting slowly in the warmth we know. Promise beneath Magnolia, cocoa on your lips. If the season starts again, let it start like this. You place one white cloud on my tongue, sugar turning dim, sweetness blooming quietly underneath my skin.
Your laughter brushes past my cheek, light is falling, bloom, pink reflections in your eyes from branches near the room.
I push the little box your way, fingers almost shy, ribbon trembling like my pulse when you catch my eye.
Outside the lamps line up the street in amber, soft and low.
Our shadows leaning close together on the window's glow. No fireworks, no crowded noise, just spoons against the cup, and something in the quiet space slowly opening up. Promise beneath Magnolia, blushing cheek to cheek, petals drifting in the dusk, say what we can't speak. Promise beneath Magnolia, held in steady hands. If tomorrow calls our names, we'll answer as we stand. Maybe love is not a spark that burns and disappears, but cocoa warm in fingertips through fragile, hopeful years.
Maybe it's a blossom branch against the evening sky,
Opening without a sound while winter says goodbye. So let this little box remain between your hand and mine, a promise small as sugar dust, yet steady as a line. Promise beneath Magnolia, under soft lit skies, pink and gold around us, reflected in our eyes. Promise beneath Magnolia, warm against the cold. If this is where we start again, let this be where we hold. Promise beneath Magnolia,
and let it gently unfold.
empty cups and cocoa stains,
Streetlights humming quiet refrain.
petals resting on the ground. In this hush, our promise found.
A rooftop sky in pastel blue, morning greeting new. March 14, 7 a.m. Cold tiles on my feet, white box hidden in my palm, paper smooth and sweet. Steam curls from the bakery shop, sugar in the air. I trace your name inside my coat like a secret prayer. Last spring we counted airplanes from a rooftop after class. Cherry petals in your hair, pink shadows on the grass. You laughed and said next year by now we'll be braver than we are. So I kept that little sentence like a folded paper star. Bench beneath the blooming trees, heartbeat in my ears, sunlight resting on my cheeks, warmer than my fear. Rooftop confession in the morning light, my shadow stepping into yours just right. Cherry blossoms falling soft and forsythia scent rides on the wind, yellow brushing green, your figure turning at the corner like a living dream. You lift your hand and wave at me, sunlight in your eyes, my sneakers scraping gravel past, courage starts to rise. The bench is warm beneath my hands, pedals on my knees, I hear my pulse against the hush of softly swaying trees. Little box inside my coat feels lighter than before, like winter finally slipped away outside a closing door. One more breath of sugared air, one step through the shine, your smile stretching wide enough to steady all of mine. Rooftop confession in the morning glow, no more counting, maybe slow, cherry blossoms spin around, pink confetti on the ground. Rooftop confession, clear and true, every step leads me to you in this bright and trembling scene. Say you'll step into my spring. If love is just a rooftop breeze brushing past too fast, let me tie it to this day so it can always last. If courage is a tiny box shaking in my hand, let it open like these blooms scattered on the land. I don't need a sky of stars, this daylight is enough. Your name resting on my lips feels brave and soft and tough. Rooftop confession in the golden air, March sunlight everywhere, cherry blossoms drifting wide. Will you stand here by my side? Rooftop confession, here I am, heartbeat louder than a band on this bench, this blooming street, letter to tomorrow's me. Rooftop confession. I remember how you smiled at me. White box open in your hands, petals caught in silver strands. Morning settles soft and slow. This is how I want to know. This is how